Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. We back on Sundays, bro.
I'm smiling, bro. I had a good weekend. I made some money. I got to support a team. I got to root against a team I hate. For those of you wondering why I'm grabbing my shirt, it's a Giannis shirt. That's why I wore it special today. I take off the KD shirt I was wearing earlier. Let's go, bro. Let's just get into it.
Hey, but look, if you guys are watching this, bro, subscribe. What are you doing? Go down below, subscribe, like this video. Go ahead and go on Instagram, Twitter. Follow us on there, Max_JuanCast. We're going to be talking Game 7, Game 1, all of it, bro. Let's get into it, Max. Where should we start?
Let's go with the game of the year, right? Tell me if I'm wrong.
Game of the year.
Game 7, Bucks in Brooklyn. The Bucks eked it out 115-111 in overtime. Where do you want to start, bro? You let me pick the game. I'll let you pick where we start.
Well, let's just talk about the matchup. KD, Giannis.
Do you think of this as like a clash of the super skilled versus like physically imposing? What was I gonna say? I
non-skilled.
No, I'm not you. Do you think of it like that though?
I don't. I just looked at it as two great players going at it.
Which better player got the edge? Do you think Durant still won the battle?
Yeah.
But he lost the war.
He lost the war.
He was 2 inches from ending the Bucks season.
Yeah.
I told my dad, we were watching I said he 100% was going for a 3, but he wore size 17. That's why his foot's on the line.
Well, you know I love football. I can't go the podcast without mentioning something of football.
Is this like a record for Football Reference?
Yeah, exactly. Football Reference, guys. It's a game of inches. That's what it came down to, honestly. Like, if he would have daggered them for the 3, that would have been freaking amazing.
It would have made Giannis' last second shot look even funnier, because I know you want to talk about it at some point. What do you think the main storylines are for this game, other than Giannis versus Durant?
Oh, man, there's just so many. As far as the game goes, like we said, it was a great game, bro. All the way through, it was back and forth. Maybe Milwaukee had like a bad second quarter. That's about it. The officiating, it was great. It was a great officiated game. I thought they let them play how you should let them play. It's a Game 7. It should be like this throughout the whole playoffs. But as far as calls go, the only bad call I seen that was ridiculous was the PJ Tucker one when he got called for going through Bruce Brown.
No, it was Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's grabbing him by the waist and he turned around. They had 2 other bad calls. Both were for Harden when he did his little I curl up in a ball. Yeah. That's a normal shot.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the NBA to clean that up. Other than that, maybe this is nitpicky, but I thought it was almost too physical at times. And I like it physical. As weird as that sounds for me to say. There was times I thought Drew Holiday got mugged going on.
KD was getting
It was. I'd rather have it like that though than what we saw in the Hawks game. I thought that wasn't letting them play enough.
Yes, and Blake Griffin was crying for calls.
Oh my,
all game.
You do the same shit, bro. You a dirty player now. Get over him.
Yeah. The others. I think that was on both sides. Honestly,
who are the others for the Nets in your estimate? Would you say
it was okay? It was Joe Harris, it was Jeff Green, and Blake Griffin.
No, he's a star at this point for them. Just in his current role, he's a star. No, I'd say Bruce Brown more than Blake. But I think so. You think Brook Lopez, PJ, and Pat Connaughton outdueled them? I'd go with hell yeah. Joe Harris was bad the whole series.
He was bad the whole series. That was it was tough, bro. It seemed like the Nets, every game that they won, it was somebody who stepped up. Game 1, Blake Griffin. Game 2 was the Mike James show. And then
Game 5 was the Jeff Green 28 or 27.
Yeah.
Joe Harris, this game, 10 points, 3 for 10 shooting, 3 for 9.
That's terrible.
I don't even think it's about the 3 for 9, which is like respectable. It's about like he got really good looks at the basket. Like you got
great looks.
Like 6 for 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, if you want to do it one, I don't know if you're capable. Can you like on the YouTube video? Can you just put like everyone's stats so I don't have to read them off?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, good. And if you're a Bucks fan, and I'm like, bro, you guys gonna win this game, but Drew Holiday's gonna go 5 for 23 for 13 points, and Middleton goes 9 for 26 with 23 points. That's got to be like one of the worst ways to like.
You know what though? They came out in the fourth quarter when it mattered.
Drew Holiday last 5 minutes. We're gonna go over the last 5 minutes of this game, and we'll go over overtime too, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Harden, I'm going to give him a pass. He's really banged up. He was 5 for 17, 2 for 12 from 3. He had 22, but if you take away the 6 free throws he made that were not fouls at all, that he flopped on, he was 16 points, just for preference. I don't hold this game against Harden. I know there's a lot of talk about his Game 7 or elimination game struggles. I listed them all if you want to go that way.
Yeah.
But this one I give him the pass. Like, bad hammy. The one thing that was bad is some of the decision making, but maybe that's just trying to do too much on a bad wheel.
Look, I think him being out there instead of Mike James was the best thing. Like,
I don't know, man. Mike James Game 2 is pretty.
Stop. That man has disappeared ever since Game 2.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, so that was a big reason why of him coming back. But I'm gonna stick with the narrative of Kyrie healthy, James Harden healthy. It's not a series.
No, it's not.
It's not. So
I think the Bucks would have put up a good fight and lost in maybe 5 games or 6.
Yeah, gentleman's sweep. But nonetheless, injuries happen, bro. And it's happening all around the league. And you got to give Milwaukee some type of credit. They came out. They had some grit. They got it done. Because KD was still on the floor, bro. And KD had one of his all-time great games again. And he was scoring at will, bro. It didn't matter who was on him. It didn't matter how tired he was going to get a bucket until the last shot.
He didn't come out of the game. 53 minutes, 17 for 36. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. 48 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, a block, a steal. He only turned the ball over 3 times. Not that bad. He's everywhere, man. He had some blocks. He was a rim protector. I don't think people realize, like I said last time, we think of him too much as a scorer. He's an all-around player now. Like, ever since he went to Golden State, transformed on the defensive end. And before we get into, like, the last few minutes breakdown, how impressed are you? How banged up was he throughout the year? Like, 1 out of 10, like an 8?
Who, KD?
Yeah. 7 or 8?
7.
He went through physicality. PJ Tucker was fouling him. He got knocked down a lot in Game 7.
Yeah.
He played heavy minutes on was his first real action in the playoffs since tearing his Achilles. And I'm impressed. I'm a Nets fan. I'm like, it was pretty good. Like, he held up.
Look, if this
isn't the recipe, though, going forward, you can't have him play every minute of every game.
No. Their season was ended by injuries, bro, obviously.
So you're happy with the job Steve Nash did?
I'm impressed. It was a tough series as far as like injuries wise, but even if you look at it from this perspective, like they didn't have a guy in Spencer Dinwiddie. Like that's a big piece, and he was out almost all year basically. So there's a lot of pieces that are gonna come back next year. Even in Spencer, I think he's a free agent. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He has an option, so he's gonna decline and become a free agent.
Yeah, which is smart. But
they'll add some bargain bin guys.
Yeah, you know that they're gonna add. And if you're a Nets fan, like run it back. You're gonna run it back with Kyrie, Harden, and KD. And I'm feeling very confident in what KD is gonna bring to the table because
he looks like the best player in basketball.
Yes.
Do you know how many shots Brooklyn's bench took this game?
No, how many?
0. Not one. I'm not talking about made shot because Milwaukee's bench took 5 shots. All Pat Connaughton, he made 3.
Yeah.
Pretty good off the bench for him.
Right.
I went back from 2010. I pulled up every Game 7. There's never been a team since 2010 to only shoot 0 shots. I found a couple single digits. I found East semifinals Boston versus Wizards. Yeah. He only took like 6 shots, the Wizards bench. But I've never heard of such a thing. And I know part of the reason is depth. You know, Bruce Brown really should be on the bench, but Kyrie's there. But I've just never seen anything like that. I just thought it was a little interesting nugget. Both of these teams kind of 6-man rotation.
Yeah,
Jeff Green played 13 minutes in this game.
Yeah. And it was because what's his name fouled out. Like he got even extra minutes.
Yeah, Blake Griffin. He played 40 minutes. And I know everyone's talked about Blake's not washed. I mean, Blake Griffin's a role player, right? At this point in his career. Yeah. One of the best role players because you see superstar moments from role players, right?
And you know what? I've been very hard on Blake Griffin, because of the whole Detroit Pistons thing. I give him credit for this series in particular. He showed a type of hustle I haven't seen since Oklahoma. Like, really though.
No, you throwing it way back with that one.
Hustle,
I like it.
Like he's hustling, bro. He's gritty. He's grindy. You know what I mean? I didn't see that with the Clippers.
No, I think when you're a superstar, a lot of superstars don't try to make those plays. Like remember we saw Zion hustle and Duke, and we're like, damn, that's great. Yeah. Have you seen that with New Orleans?
No.
I don't blame him. I'm not faulting him for it. But is there anything else before we dive into it?
No, let's get into the fourth quarter because that's where all the meat and potatoes are.
So, just to set the stage of the game, Drew Holiday was abysmal until we're going to start talking about Middleton was okay, I would say, in my estimation. Durant was really good. Harden's banged up. Holiday was hurting them for 90% of the game, wouldn't you say? I mean, 5 for 23 speaks volume. And so they're good shots. I mean, some of them were bad shots, excuse me. Obviously, he had some wide open ones he missed, but he looked, tentative out there, uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And KD was icing him. And, he can't guard KD. I'm sorry. He's too small. Yeah. So at 5:45, Chris Middleton gets a deflection. He's dribbling the ball up. He fumbles it. I think Harden passes the ball to KD and one dunk on Pat Connaughton, leads 5. What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking it was over. I just think okay, if there's a chance where they get away, this is it. This is the time.
I always thought this was a momentum shifting play. The Bucks just got to stop, which is already a great job. Mm-hmm. To lose the ball and Connaughton foul KD, I was like, oh no. And the Brooklyn's crowd is amazing. Maybe we should stop for 30 seconds just to talk about how great it is to have crowds back.
It is amazing, bro. This whole Friday through Sunday, man. By the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It is Sunday. You guys will be seeing this Monday, but regardless. The crowds have been great. Giannis airballing free throws.
I hated how Grant Hill was they seem to be shooting better when they chant. I'm they chanted every shot, bro. What are you talking about? He airballed 2. Yeah. He looked labored at times. And I know we're getting a little off topic, but compared to KD didn't look bad at all. Did he look?
He just looked fatigued, but
a little bit. Giannis looked worse than Giannis had to come out a couple times.
Yeah.
I know Giannis
something was hurting him.
Maybe it was his upper thigh. I think he got hit there in game 6 or game 5.
Yeah.
So after that and 5:25 left, Drew Holiday. They run a set off the timeout. He hits a wide open 3-pointer. First made 3 of the afternoon for him. He was 0 for 6 before that.
Wow.
Next trip down, KD's going to get a foul on Holiday. Coach Butt should have challenged it. I was like, why are the refs getting their whistle, Mm-hmm. And then the next play, Brooklyn gets stopped. Harden throws the stupidest turnover of the whole game. Chris Middleton, full court pass. Giannis gets a layup. It should have been an and one.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, they're kind of showing some signs of life. And then, I think a play that we probably would remember if they won the series, and that's Harden. He doesn't get called for an 8-second count, which I guess doesn't matter anymore. He has that bank 3 on the wing.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was awful. I was like, this is these are the shots. So it's I had flashbacks of the Clippers, right?
Yeah.
Every time Utah would get going, Patrick Beverley would just hit a contested 3, and you're like,
yeah.
What am I supposed to, what were they supposed to do on that? What could they have done better? Nothing other than block him.
Yeah.
Middleton responds. Clutch 3 at the other end, 101-99.
Yeah.
Bucks get a stop. This is something I noticed. From this point on, they ran this play 3 times. Drew brought the ball up the right wing. Everyone spaced out, right? Mm-hmm. Giannis pick and roll. He gets a layup on KD and 1. Giannis misses the free throw. Surprise, surprise. Holiday's going to get the rebound. He's going to ISO Joe Harris, step back, 104-101. What do you think of this sequence of plays?
I mean, it was just back and forth, though. From this point on, it was back and forth. And
I feel this is where Milwaukee, though, took control of the game. They had control of the game from this point on till,
Well, it was Drew Holiday, though, too.
He got really comfortable. You said it to me.
Yeah.
And like me and you have felt like this because we watch so many bad Laker teams get beat on like not boxing out a free throw shooter. And I think that's one of the worst ways to lose a game. Not lose a game, but just like that's one of the worst ways to get a basket, right? Like, so they're up by 3. KD just just destroys Chris Middleton.
Yeah, he comes down like every play from like the 3-minute mark and was like, okay, give me the ball, I'm gonna score.
And then Drew Holiday and Giannis, they run their pick and roll. Hit a wide open mid range shot that you loved. You were like,
yeah. I was like, okay, he's comfortable. He's feeling it.
So what would you bet that shot was going in when you saw it?
Like my life.
Dude, you bet your life before and have been wrong.
No, because I'm. Oh, wait, what?
Haven't you bet your soul? Oh, that's your soul.
That's my soul. It's different, bro. Two different things. All
right. So I'm gonna fast forward right here. 25 seconds left in the game. Milwaukee's up by 2, 109 to 107. Middleton goes for the dagger at the top. PJ Tucker tips the ball out to Drew Holiday.
How do you feel about that shot? Really quick.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
You could have settled for that. And I feel like you just got to go downhill.
It was a tough look, bro. I mean,
it's great if it goes in.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, I like the audacity to shoot the shot, but I was like, PJ Tucker bailed him out. They get the ball to Drew Holiday. They don't call a timeout. They run an awful possession. Mm-hmm. And I'll let you describe what happens. They take the ball out of bounds with 2.5 on the shot clock. Tell me what happens.
So they wind up inbounding the ball and winds up getting in Brook Lopez's hand. He doesn't know what to do.
He's J.R. Smith. He's J.R. Smith. He's high.
He's literally in the corner. He's off balance. I'm like, okay, he's gonna put it up. No, he winds up leaving his feet and jump passes to Chris Middleton as the clock expires.
Yeah, shot clock. And
Middleton is pissed. I'm pissed. I'm like,
Connaughton's pissed.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
And the worst part is Giannis has become like getting open off the like set, and I'm just like, this is like at this point, I'm rooting for the Bucks the whole game, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is just like nightmare. Like this is like. How many times have you seen it? And KD has that. I'm gonna pull a football reference out of my ass because I'm on part of the show too. KD's got that Russell Wilson, Tom Brady. Like, if they get the ball left and there's 4, like they're down by 4. No, it's like they're gonna win the game. not a chance.
Yeah.
It's like so KD turnaround jump shot. We talked about it was for 3. Like he was going for the 3.
Yes.
To quote him, my big ass foot on the line. And then I'll let you talk about the last shot of the regulation that Giannis took.
Oh my goodness.
Paint me a picture. Say I wasn't there. Tell me what it looked like.
Okay, they inbound the ball. They go short left side of the court. He has the smaller defender on him. So he has the mismatch. KD comes, contests him as he takes a step back fadeaway.
The ball hits the rim, right?
No.
Oh, what did it hit?
No, it hits the fucking shot clock, Max.
I know what it hit. Dumbass was setting you up.
It was there. I text Max right away. I'm like, bro, that was terrible. Max was shouting at him, no, bro, it was a tough shot, bro. Okay.
Oh, it was 100% a tough shot. He can't shoot to start with. This dude can't shoot a free throw.
I need better than that, though, bro. Come on. Top of the shot clock?
I don't know why he didn't just try like a post hook. I was like, might as well go for a post hook, bro.
I like the shot. Like
you liked it? What about did you like? The guy shooting it?
Yeah.
He can't shoot.
I know, but like, come on. You're going to die with Giannis. Come on.
Were you surprised or like you expected him to take 6 threes after not shooting a single one in game 6?
Yeah, but it was different. It really felt there. I thought he really picked his spots very well.
I thought he settled for like 2 of them. Or like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think in his brain, like he hits one, he's like, I'm hot. I can get. I think the worst thing that ever happened to him was that Lakers game where he hit like 6 out of 6.
Yeah.
And then he was like this with the crown or whatever. That was probably the worst thing about like that ever happened to him. So game goes to OT.
It was terrible. It was a terrible OT.
First play OT. Joe Harris misses a 3. Giannis gets pulled down by Blake Griffin. Bruce Brown makes the layup.
Yeah.
So it's 111 to 109.
And it was like that for a minute.
Let's see. I'm going in my notes. The next score is the Bucks score at 135. There was only 8 points scored.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
It was fatigue.
Oh, yeah. And like you could see KD was feeling a little bit. Giannis was hands on his knees, breathing hard. 135, Giannis drives, drops off to Brook Lopez. KD like tackles him, but like ties up the ball. It was an amazing play.
It was an amazing play, but Brook Lopez.
That was okay. Tell me, give me your Brook Lopez piece. He was good this game, but give me your little piece on him.
Oh my goodness, I was so pissed at Brook Lopez. I'm like, dude, just hang on to the ball. Like,
what's the school they need to go to? All these big
Pau
men?
Gasol, the Gasol school. That's what they need.
What did they learn at the Gasol school?
Keep the ball high.
I'm trying to think. Does anyone do it now?
No.
Really, Boban. No, Boban bring it low.
Yeah, all these bigs bring it low, bro.
Yeah.
Me and Max coach, bro. Like, we coach like little kids. We even teach our kids that. Like, keep the ball high. Why are you having it down low?
Nothing good ever happened.
No.
So Giannis. So KD's gonna tip the ball out of bounds off the jump ball, which was like, dude, that's a tough way to go.
Yeah.
Giannis posts up KD, makes an ugly hook shot, 111. Lopez redeems himself. He blocks Durant's layup.
That was a nice block.
Roy blocked it right to Joe Harris, who misses a wide open three.
Again.
40 seconds left. Chris Middleton's going to hit a spinning free throw line jumper. And I was like, that's his shot.
Yeah.
KD's going to miss a jump shot. Middleton, Giannis, they do a pick and roll on the left side. Middleton takes, an awful shot. Yeah. It's like super contested. Mm-hmm. And I'll let you take the last shot at 5 seconds.
Well, the last shot, this one I wasn't so confident. I thought.
Did you not? Okay.
I knew he was going to take a three. I'll tell you
He didn't even take a three.
I know.
Again,
he was gunning for it though. Yeah.
I think he knew the longer the game went on, it was going to be bad for them.
The Nets didn't take a timeout.
Did you like?
I liked it because they got the matchup. Don't let them get their great defensive team.
And they didn't rush up the court. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they didn't rush up the court. They got the ball with like 11 seconds, and they walked it up, and then KD.
And they got the ball to KD like calmly. You know what I mean? Nothing was chaotic about it.
No.
I liked it. I like the no call.
Only reason I would have taken the timeout, simply fatigue. But then I see your side of, hey, the defense is going to be set. They get Brook Lopez.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, there's two sides to the story.
But I think at the aftermath of it, you have the matchup with Drew Holiday. KD's going to shoot right over him.
Dominated him throughout.
Yes.
Maybe what I would have liked is KD try to back him down a little more, get a little closer.
He wanted a three.
But I agree with you 100%. Then the game's over at that point. Yes. 0.3 seconds. It was amazing. It was physical. It's what's playoff basketball supposed to be.
Like if you had Game 7 in the dictionary book, that would be it. Like that's how Game 7 is supposed to be played.
What did you make of Coach Bud this game? I liked what I saw at times.
I like what I saw he did with Giannis. I thought there was a little change with Giannis on how he was attacking.
He didn't get any of those stupid charges.
Yeah.
That he normally gets 4 or 5 of a game. And I think I told you this. I mean, I'm going to keep interrupting you this whole podcast, so be ready. Instead of going like this, right? He's going kind of like that. It's kind of like I'm taking an arc because I can't get a charge if I hit you right here.
Sorry, audio listeners.
What did I do? I bumped the mic?
No. I'm saying because you're moving.
I'm tapping one shoulder instead of like just hitting him in his chest.
Yeah.
And like he kind of figured out, I can Euro step again. I remember how to do that, which was great.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had 40 points. It was
he was good. He was
15 for
great.
24. I mean, what do you want from him?
Yeah. The free throws are going to be a problem.
He made some mid range. I like that. I don't mind him shooting mid range. Do you like
I love him taking mid range. Him attacking the basket though from the left corner or any corner that he was in was a great adjustment because it was all day. Like he can get that whenever he wanted to. He wasn't so set on going straight line to the basket from the top of the key and having the double come.
I think we should go. I wish we would have went back and had time to rewatch like game 1, how many times he caught the ball in the short corner, like you said. Because I'm just thinking back, they caught the ball a lot closer to the basket, which maybe that makes sense.
Yeah.
For a guy who can't shoot, catching the ball closer is better.
Yeah.
What do you know? That's crazy. I like what Bud did on defensive end because the first half, and you kind of saw this if you watched the Phoenix game today. Right. We're going to get into it later. They play that stupid drop coverage, which it's not stupid, but this is part of my gripe with the officiating. Bruce Brown cannot set this good of screens. He cannot brick wall everyone every time. It does not make sense to me unless he's moving at some point. I digress. So he sets a screen on Drew Holiday or PJ Tucker, and PJ Tucker's out of the play.
Right.
And Brook Lopez is dropping, and KD's just like running up, and I'm like, well, that might work against, like, I don't know, Aaron Gordon or Cameron Payne, KD's just going to pop, or he's going to hesitate, get by you.
Yeah.
In the second half, they changed it. They switched the matchup. One, Giannis is guarding Bruce Brown. Blake Griffin's getting guarded by Brook Lopez. And Giannis, like, they started to trap him. They were like, we're not going to let you get head of steam. Brook Lopez, the same thing. I was like, that's a smart adjustment. Last year, I don't know if they make that adjustment. Do I still want to see Giannis guard KD more? Absolutely. I thought they'd kind of missed out. But thinking back, now that Giannis was so gassed and he wasn't, maybe it was smart. I just feel like Giannis is one of those rare athletes, right? Where it doesn't matter who it is, really.
No, you're correct.
And KD is 7 feet tall. Drew Holiday did everything right. Makes it hard to catch the ball. He's in this great position, and it's just, you're 6 inches shorter than me. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I like what they did. PJ Tucker played his ass off, you know?
Look, the congratulations to the Bucks, bro. They took advantage of the opportunity, whether it was injuries or not, like I said in the beginning. I love it. I'm going for the 2 East teams officially, Bucks or Hawks. But KD, do you like the narrative of it changing every freaking day?
What? You need to explain this to me because I don't know what you mean. Explain this to me.
So he scores what? How much is 49?
48.
48?
40. Let's whatever. High 40s.
No. For game 6, 49, right? He was almost at 50.
Oh, game 5.
Yeah, game 5.
Yeah, it was I think it's 48 that game too.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever it was when he had that all-time great game, like what Shannon Sharp was saying.
Kendrick.
Yeah.
It was so insightful.
People were praising him.
49. You were correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So people were praising him. Best player in the game. Like, oh, is he the GOAT? Is he better than LeBron? Like, we even had that talk. Now that he loses the game,
he's a bum?
He's a bum.
No, he's great. Still great.
Thank
Still the best player in basketball.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that for all the stupid sports fans out there.
I think maybe only LeBron could have done what he. I don't know if
Prime LeBron, yes.
Yeah. But I'm saying right now, I don't know if someone could.
That's tough.
LeBron has never been as good a scorer as Kevin Durant on his best day, but obviously he does a lot of other things. Like, I think prime LeBron plays this game, he's not tired. But this isn't really prime KD, is it?
No.
Coming off
it's tail end of prime. I think he's at the tail end of it. He's still in it.
I mean, going into next year, he would be in my top 3 players.
Yeah, no doubt.
No order.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's better than Luka.
Yeah.
Better than Booker.
Yes.
Better than Giannis. I would say yes.
Yes. I agree with you.
I don't know why people do that though. Like,
yeah, I hate to see that. And
I mean, for the series, 35 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 steals, a block, 50% field goal percentage, 35% from 3. He didn't have Kyrie for 4 games, or he didn't have Kyrie for like 3 games.
Yeah.
And he didn't have Harden for like 4 games. So, and Harden, he was a shell of himself. He only averaged 10 points a game.
He wasn't himself.
31% from the field, 19% from 3. I don't really know what you expect from a guy.
Yeah.
Like, we always kind of give LeBron a pass when he has nobody. Like, it's stupid to me. LeBron gets flack for losing the 2018 finals where he dragged Kevin Love's dead carcass and Jeff Green.
Yeah.
And we're going to give a flack to this guy for losing against a team that had way better talent due to injury. And it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like,
yeah. But congrats to the Bucks. Nets.
I am shocked they won the game. I'm pretty.
The Bucks? You picked them.
I did, but I was so.
They won it.
Yeah, the way they won it, correct. I said, I think if the Bucks win this series, this is the type of series championship teams win, like when your back's against the wall.
Yeah.
Like, and we kind of, I think we're kind of forgetting how they went out last year. I know Giannis got hurt, but they got punked.
Yeah.
And they didn't get punked. PJ Tucker helps. Like, he's tough, right? Mm-hmm. And Bobby Portis, he's tough. And I know he didn't play. But he didn't play this series. Play a lot this series. But
it's just the culture of it.
Yeah, it's just the culture thing. Yeah. And I know culture doesn't matter, but
like the stuff that doesn't show up on the court, like in practice. Like, you will hate to practice against Bobby Portis because you might get punched. But
not that culture.
But that's enough Bucks and Nets talk. We're gonna be having a couple messages, so we'll be back. We are proud to announce our second ever advertisement, Max. And you want to know what it is?
Yeah, tell me.
It's the blowout feature, bro. Proud sponsor of this video. Max, how about you tell us a little bit more about the blowout feature?
Well, have you ever played Madden or 2K1?
all the time.
And have you ever been blowing someone out online, or have you been on the receiving end of that blowout?
Plenty of times, bro. I've been blowing more people out though, instead of getting my tail whooped.
Well, there's a guy who has a solution out there, and it's way better than just quitting the game early and being penalized, or even worse, you stay in the game, you continue to get your butt beat, and you waste your valuable time. The blowout feature has the potential to partner with 2K or Madden, and whether you're down by 20 or 30, there's multiple ways to set it up for you.
And you know what the best thing about it is? You can turn it on or off, people. Like, if you don't like the feature, okay, turn it off. I personally like it. I like the idea. I would love to like not waste my time when I'm up by like 40 points when I'm beating you, Max, at Madden.
Well, here's the difference between me and you. I like to fight my way back. I'm a psycho. I'm not going to give up. And like you've seen me do before, I come back and then I be the winner.
But the main thing is, guys, go ahead and follow him on Instagram, okay? The blowout feature right here down below. The link is going to be in the description also. Go ahead and support this dude, man. If you guys have any clips, go ahead and send them to the blowout feature of you whooping some tail. Or, I mean, if you want to be brave, maybe Max will do it of them getting they tail whooped. Anyway, guys, go ahead and follow him on Instagram. Now back to the show. All right, guys, welcome back. There was another Game 7 today on Sunday, Father's Day. We had a treat, bro. It was the last game. We just got finished watching it. Sixers and Hawks. The Hawks end up beating the 76ers in Philadelphia. Fly, Hawks, fly.
Oh, that's come on. The Philly fans were in.
Did you see the beer that got thrown?
That ain't even bad for them, though. I'm like, that's light.
I know. When I see that, I was like, so Philly shit, bro.
Oh,
Embiid was pissed too. Oh my God, like he was so fucking pissed.
You know, this game just ended. I just put the stats on the document. You can lead this wherever you want, bro. I know there's a huge thing we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
We're a huge bum.
We're definitely gonna talk about that, but you got to give kudos to the Hawks, man. They came out, they played their ass off. Trae Young didn't have an amazing game.
It's kind of weird, right? Because
that's already 4 times, by the way.
What I said, it's weird.
No,
I cut you off.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even talk. Then I won't talk. Go ahead.
Trae Young was amazing, bro, in my opinion. And I know Max is gonna say like, no, he wasn't. Like he got saved by Herter. Is that his name?
Yeah, Kevin Herter.
Yeah, Kevin Herter.
Big Ginge.
Yeah, he had an amazing
Big
game,
Ginge.
bro. I thought Trae Young like impacted the game though in other ways. He controlled the game. Like, this dude he's here, bro. Like, he just keeps on proving me wrong. Every series, Knicks series, I picked against them. This series, I picked against them. I don't want to make that mistake again.
I don't think we picked it. I think we said like an unhealthy Embiid was fine. He was
fine.
Yeah, I was wrong. We were wrong.
We were wrong, bro. And look, we're really hard on Trae Young, especially early in the season. Like when they were doing that whole losing streak.
I think it goes back to last year though, because like everyone's crowning him. I'm like, you ain't done shit, bro. Like, yeah, you get bad points, good, a lot of points, bad team. Taylor's oldest time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like he was getting he was an all-star star and they won 6 games. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. He had a nightmarish game in my opinion. He wasn't. I want to say. Let me rephrase. Nightmarish shooting game. How's that?
Yeah.
Because I don't think he was terrible. He like this is what I don't understand about like
he made them when they counted though.
Yeah, but I thought he was really tentative at times. Like he had 10 assists, which is amazing, right? Like that's great. And I just don't understand like box score plus minus. He was +7. He wasn't +7. He missed like 5 for 23 shooting for 21 points is not good. I understand he went to the free throw line a bunch. I don't like how the game was officiated. I thought. Compared to Brooklyn, they didn't let them play nearly as much. Or am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping.
He wasn't bad. Like, they're not winning this game without him. He had 21 points, but I thought Herter kept them afloat for, like, stretches. And then Herter kept them in the game, and then Trae Young kind of sealed it.
Herter kind of
How's that sound?
Yeah, no.
Because Bogdanovich was hurt. I think he's done.
Herter took the role of him, basically. Like, you would expect that from Bogdanovich. Like
kind of game. Yeah, I like that. That's a really good you just said right there. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 for 18 shooting, 2 for 4 from 3. He was hitting some tough ass shots too.
And look, their whole team though, man, their whole team came out like Gallinari. That's just an underrated like pickup. And I know Gallinari has been on a lot of teams. And I know he's like the king of being in like all the trade packages. But today he was big because when the team first got assembled this year and they got Rondo, you're thinking, okay, Rondo was going to be the leader. He was going to be the veteran. What I seen Gallinari being the veteran and being that.
Well, they got rid of Rondo.
Yeah, like being that voice in the huddle. Like I seen the difference between Philly and Atlanta. Gallinari was like, let's go. Like, let's take a hold of this opportunity. And they did it, bro. Like Gallinari had the steal on Embiid late in the game and had the breakaway layup or dunk. I forgot what he even did, but
he passed to Lou Will and he got a breakaway dunk.
Yeah, and like those are the type of plays where like
in a matchup he should be murdered by.
Yeah, and you know what? Like Gallinari came out to play. Like all these guys, like even John Collins, I felt like had a decent game, like on defense. Capella did his thing. Trae Young, even though he struggled, his teammates ended up like lifting him, and that's how it should be because for most of the playoffs, it's been the Trae Young show.
Oh, 100%, bro. I thought Capella did a fine job. Embiid's gonna cook whoever. It don't matter at this point. But he put up a fight. Collins had 16 rebounds, and he was getting into a Ben Simmons, and I'm just like, dude, Philly, you are not tough. What you said about Gallinari, I 100% agree with you. I like what Nate McMillan did. He didn't let them panic. Philly was crazy, electric atmosphere. Like, there was some times I thought the Hawks might let this game get away. Every time I thought that, they hit a big shot. Whether in the third quarter, Young got some lobs, which I was like, that's big. There was this play. Matthias Thybulle got a steal or something, and he yammed it. And they go right back down the court. No one picks up John Collins, and it's a dunk, and it just zapped the crowd. And I was like, that's an underrated play. Because when you're a young team like the Hawks who've never been in a Game 7 and you start to hear that crowd, we've seen teams crumble.
Yeah.
They didn't crumble, which is shocking. Because this, like I always tell people, most NBA teams have a certain trajectory. And the Hawks are skipping one phase of it where it's like, oh, we're gonna get the taste of the playoffs. We were trash last year because they were trash.
Yeah.
We're going to get a taste. Oh, we're going to get bounced, but we're going to have fun. And that's important for a young team.
Yeah. Kind of like the Suns.
Exactly. It's a little different because Chris Paul is has its own effect, and they have some veterans. But this team is young. Mm-hmm. Like, Philly got beat by guys on their rookie contract. Shout out my friend Deshaun who texted me that earlier today. But what I'm just trying to point, like, they skipped a phase. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I don't think it's a cakewalk for Milwaukee just because I know Milwaukee's Milwaukee and they like to do dumb stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm impressed by this Hawks team. I'm not a big fan.
Were we right?
I was right on them 2 years ago when I said they were the fourth best team in the East, but I was right a year early.
Look, if you guys are big fans of us, man, we actually did our preview of the NBA. We were big on the Hawks, but we weren't this big on them. We weren't Eastern Conference Finals big on them. But with the addition of Rondo, that's what we got wrong. You know, we really thought Rondo was going to be that veteran leadership and teach Trae Young the way. But you know what? Once they fired their coach, bro.
Yeah, maybe that was the leadership they needed, just the new freaking
coach.
No, Nate McMillan, I don't think he's an amazing coach because this is a good roster. But
he's the perfect coach for them.
Compared to Lloyd Pierce, million times better.
Yeah, and those reports are 100% true now that I see them like.
There was a play where John Collins got yelled at by Trae Young, and then they were like, "It's cool, it's cool." I like how they played. Honestly, I can't hate, but I feel like Philly lost this game. And what do you want? Do you want to go to the Ben Simmons shit first, or do you?
No, we have to. Let's talk Ben Simmons. So, say his stat line, Max, just for the audience.
I'm going to give the series stat line too.
Okay.
Today, 5 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 2 for 4 shooting. Like 2 of them were dunks, right? 1 for 2 from the free throw line. They didn't even hack a Simmons, but I think Herder made a super smart play on a fast break and just touched him, and they were like, that's a foul. I was like, that's amazing. I'll give you the Ben Simmons fourth quarter scoring. 2 for 2 in the first game. 0 for 0 in game 2. Game 3, 1 for 1. Games 4, 5, 6, and 7, they did not take a shot. That's an awful amount.
So that's 4?
What?
It's 4 shots total? that he made?
3 shots total.
Oh my goodness!
I'm sure if I
in a 7-game series
that's just the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I know.
But
But in a 7-game series, you had 7 games.
He averaged 7 points or 10 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 61% shooting. That's not good enough for your second best player, man. Especially a guy who's a quote unquote ball handler.
Toby came out.
I think Toby was good. I think I said this in the regular season, right? Toby's been miscast as the number 2 on this team. He needs to be a 3. Toby's a good 3. With the addition of Seth Curry, who's a really good number 4, and at times was the number 2 for this team, like, it's a joke. Like, the fact that they're talking about benching Ben Simmons before the game, and then I will let Juan tell you what was said after the game.
Well, after the game, I was literally telling Max as we were setting up, Doc Rivers was asked, do you think you can win a championship with Ben Simmons as point guard?
Can I guess the response?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's a great player.
No.
Oh, what? No, I'm sarcastic.
He said he honestly doesn't know. That is crazy, bro. I mean, quote unquote, Doc Rivers is supposed to be this player's coach.
I think he's fed up. Bro, he's not wrong, though.
He's not. I just find it freaking crazy.
Wasn't Ben Simmons an all-star this year?
Yeah. And I find it freaking crazy that they're talking about their guy like that. Like, I know you're frustrated, but usually, bro, when you go to war with your teammate, you're going to defend them at all costs.
I 100%, especially
you know what I mean?
After a tough loss.
Like, it's tough, but man, even Embiid, and I was telling you this earlier, like, Embiid was breaking down the game, and it was kind of sending shots. You can read it the way, however you want to, but he said the key points in the game were not taking open shots and missing free throws. Who does that describe? As I hit the mic. Sorry.
I thought that was me. He passed up a wide open dunk to pass the Thibault, who gets fouled on a dunk, goes 1 for 2. And I was like, it's in his head. He's passing up dunks. I'm reading a stat right now. A minimum of 70 attempts at the free throw line. 34%. Lowest in a postseason in NBA history.
Wow.
It's not good enough anymore. I'm so tired of seeing the bullshit reports in the offseason. He's working on his shot. He ain't working on shit. I don't care if he does form shooting for 2 hours a day. What's the point?
Is he the sole reason why they lost?
I don't think it's crazy to say that. It's just your second best player. He's second best player.
And he's sitting at times.
He said they took him out of the game to get threes. And
that's what I'm saying. When your second best player, and like you alluded to earlier,
Simmons.
It's nuts, bro.
Look, I know it's not 100% Ben Simmons. He's a huge reason. Like, I'd say he's 60% the reason they lost. And he's not a bum. I was sorry if I called you a bum, but you don't pay guys $38 million to just do this. And they had a trade option for him. It seems kind of dumb they didn't trade him now.
I would have did it. Harden.
I would have done it too. Daryl Morey and Harden, great match. Look, Embiid was bad at taking care of the ball for the series. He had 25 turnovers and 24 assists. That's really bad. We kind of alluded to it in our Sabonis video, which thank you again for the viewership. He kind of chokes it away at the end of games. Like, that Gallinari's like a microcosm. And I know he had 31 points. I felt like he left a lot of meat on the bones. He still settles a lot. But I feel like you can kind of attest that to, hey, there's a guy on the other block. Why isn't he surrounded by 4 shooters at all times?
Right.
Like, he's an MVP candidate, and I still don't think they have a way to maximize his like scheme around him.
Yeah. I mean, that's well said.
They're in a predicament with him, and I have a couple of trades that involve Ben Simmons.
I would love to hear him.
Well, I have 4. So Rockets get Ben Simmons, 76ers get Avery Bradley, Eric Gordon, Kenyon Martin Jr., and 2 first-round picks. Do you do it?
I mean, if you're the Rockets, you do it. Why would you do that as a Sixer fan? I feel like you can get a little bit more.
Okay. Thunder, Ben Simmons, 76ers, Kemba Walker, 2 first-round picks. You know what? 4 first-round.
I mean, what does Kemba do, though?
I don't really know.
I mean, the way that you're having these trades is you think his trade value is low as it can be. I want to hear the third one, though. Keep on going.
The fourth one's, I think, is the best one. Ben Simmons to the Magic for 76ers get Cole Anthony, Chuma Okeke, Terrence Ross, and a first-round pick.
That was not bad.
The last one is a 3-team deal. The Jazz get Ben Simmons, the 76ers get Gordon Hayward and a first-round pick, and the Hornets get Rudy Gobert.
I like that. I like that.
Before the show, you said, you know what the Jazz need? They need like a 4 that can play the 5s to just take Gobert out when like it's a really bad matchup.
Yeah.
Why can't Ben Simmons be their version of Draymond Green?
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Do you think they win this? Do you think they win? This is a really good segue too for you. You're welcome. Do you think the Jazz win that series if Ben Simmons is playing instead of Gobert at the 5?
Yes. I think he's perfect.
I think we should get into that series now.
Well,
how about that?
Let's go, bro. Let's talk about it.
I really like that trade, man.
Clippers and Jazz. This game was played on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, bro. It was absolutely nuts. Just a little backstory. I was telling Max. I was watching the game with my grandpa. He left the room when the Clippers were down by 25. He's an LA dude. He's going to rock with whoever's LA. And he was going for the Clippers. He was kind of sad. He was like, man, Clippers, they are playing horrible right now. And he left the room for a couple minutes. He came back. They were literally down by like 2 points. He's like, what happened? I'm like,
Isn't this
Terrence Mann happened.
Doesn't this go the other way around? Aren't the Clippers supposed to choke?
Right?
It's a little
It was crazy.
There's only one thing to call this game, and it's the Terrence Mann game.
Yeah. Or the Rudy Gobert game. If you want to look at it that way.
Why would you call it that one? Tell me why you call it that.
Because
I love Gobert so much, and
it's tough if you're a Gobert fan and Gobert defender. So the Jazz on defense had him in the paint, and they said, okay, and they're doing this all series. They said, whoever's in the corner, we're gonna leave. We're gonna live with them shooting. I get that. Plenty of times. This is not the first time an NBA team has done this.
Who was he primarily guarding?
Terrence Mann.
A rookie.
And they left them wide open. And he kept on hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. And you know what happened after that, Max? Everyone else started hitting. Everyone else started feeding off the energy because they just came back down from 25 points and they're on a 17-0 run. And now Patrick Beverley's hitting. Morris is hitting. Reggie Jackson, a.k.a. Bobby Shmurda, over here driving on Rudy Gobert, making tough layups, making three-pointers. Paul George, a.k.a. Playoff P. I'm going to give him the respect for once in my life. Pandemic P did not come out to play. He was hitting shots. Staples Center was electric. It was crazy to watch, bro. It was one of the biggest sells I have ever watched in my lifetime. Top 5 at least.
Terrence Mann scoring by quarter. First quarter, 12 points, 4 for 5 shooting, 2 for 2 from 3. Second quarter, 2 points, 1 for 2, 0 for 1 from 3. Third quarter, 20 points, 8 for 11.
Okay, stop right there. 8 for 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you stop.
What do you mean? No, you stop when he hits like 3 out of the first 3 threes.
I think like if you really want to be lenient, that's when you stop that shit. That's when you're like, okay, let's fucking guard him. He is hot.
He's in his zone.
He's in his zone. Let's guard him. We got a quarter to get this shit together. Gobert, you're coming out. How many did he have in the fourth, Max?
He had 5 points, but it was already kind of... He didn't play much in the fourth. Like, he didn't really take many shots. He was 2 for 2. But at that point, it was already like 2.
Everyone else was hot.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not a rookie. He's a second-year player. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. He shot 41% from 3 this year, but it's not like it's a lot of volume. They were just going to test it out. They thought maybe it's too big a moment for this guy.
I mean, let's be real, bro. Like, he was a borderline... like role player for them. There was at times when they were like
out of the rotation. He wasn't really playing this postseason.
Exactly.
And, I love Gobert so much, man. I literally was telling you about him when he was Enes Kanter's backup, how good this guy could be. He's good. He's not a bum. He's just so... easy to scheme out of things. I don't think there's an adjustment Quinn Snyder could have made. Do you think there's something?
I think there is. I think
no. With him out there, what could he have done differently?
no.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you could bench him, no doubt. But I'm saying, and you kind of brought this up to me, maybe they couldn't really do that in the first 5 games because they didn't have Conley.
Yeah.
But even then, I would maybe go Clarkson, Ingles, Mitchell, Bogdanovich, and O'Neal.
Yes.
Switch everything.
Yes.
And the part that kills me is, has he gotten to the point where he's just too much of a zero on offense?
I don't think offense is the problem, though.
No. But I'm saying, if he can be schemed out of the defense like that, is he too big of a zero on offense to keep him out there? That's what I'm saying. Like Boban sucks on defense, right?
Yeah.
He was scoring more than Gobert. Like, I felt more comfortable him scoring than Gobert against the Clippers.
Right.
That's what I'm asking you. Like, is he just like, this is one of the plus minuses, right? He was minus 24 all the way. Yeah, you were awful this game.
Yeah, you got to take him out, bro.
And for some reason, Terrence Mann's plus 8. Terrence Mann was the best player out there.
Yeah.
Like, I know Paul George is better, but this game, Terrence Mann stole the show. Mm-hmm. And playoff P's been back. Game 5 was the most.
Let's give him his credit. Playoff P is back.
That's why I called him playoff P.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him pandemic P when he has like a 0, but I think that's kind of over. Like, who would have thought without Kawhi was holding him back? With Kawhi, he's averaging 27. Without him, 32. I get he's playing more, but for a guy who we've seen just struggle.
Yeah.
And I think struggling when you're not the top guy and you have the potential to be the top guy is worse. It's like why you get so mad at AD when he plays like crap. And it's like, dude, it's so easy for you. Like, you're not even like on a crappy team. Like, you have the help.
Right.
And game 6, Paul George was fine, but Terrence Mann kind of stole his shine.
Yeah, no, 3 straight games in a row. Even game 1 that we're going to be talking about soon. All 3 games, he's been amazing without Kawhi. Paul George, I seen that he has his confidence back. Like, I just see a sense of confidence when he has the ball or just on the court in general. And the Clippers, you would think game 6, you're down by 25. Let's pack it in.
Yeah,
Let's go to game 7. And I was kind of saying that, like, okay, no Kawhi.
Who has an ACL sprain. That is the official what they're calling it.
That's crazy.
Never heard of such a thing, have you?
You think his ACL is just like barely hanging on
by a thread?
Yeah, and just like so close, like to tearing.
I didn't know that Cyborg had ligaments. So.
But look, you gotta give props to the Clippers, bro. And to be honest, if I wasn't so much of a Clipper hater, I would confidently say like I'm going for them, but I can't. I just too much Laker pride. But I'm gonna say this. I told this to my brother today. I think the Clippers got the highest ceiling as far as being an elite team if Kawhi comes back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If Kawhi comes back and he's fine, which it's going to be hard, but them, when they work as a unit and kind of like the versatility that they can do with, I know Zubac is not the best and I know DeMarcus Cousins is not the best, but them with that small lineup and being able to go big, like it's huge, bro. Like they're talented.
There ain't no big men left really to be afraid of, unless maybe you want to consider Ayton. But we're almost to that point. Do you have? I have 3 more things before we move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Jazz have hit their ceiling. Right or wrong?
Yes.
What's the next move for the Jazz?
You got to get rid of Rudy Gobert. Either that. Or
you cannot trade him till October 11th due to the contract he signed.
Wow.
6 years left on that big boy deal.
Yeah, okay. I don't think it's the end of the world if you keep him, though. And I'm going to say this. You need to get a small ball 5.
Don't they have that, though, in Royce O'Neal?
Yeah, they kind of have. I don't know if
it's a pride thing.
I think it is. I think it's the coach thing and a Rudy Gobert thing.
But also, he is so integral to their success in the regular season and in certain playoffs. Like, I feel like this is the nightmare. Like, if he's playing Jokic, like, he's still going to get torched at times, but, like, at least he's guarding a big. He's not guarding a 6'8" guy who's just going to run around. Like, Jokic isn't going to just run around him, because he's not fast enough.
That's where the GM comes in play, though.
But I feel like I think Rudy should kind of have the Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee thing against the Rockets, where it's like, this isn't for me. I'm going to play a little. Like, Gobert could play all the favors minutes. But just for like a couple games, because they'll need Gobert. Like, if they played the Bucks in the finals, they need Gobert against Giannis.
Right.
You need you to swallow that pride, Rudy. You need to take a tough look in the mirror. And I know you're not going to like this. He needs to get better on offense against smalls. You need to find some way to offset this. If you're going to continue to play, you got to get 20 against whoever.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to drop the ball. I'm like asking, just push him back and jump hook his ass to death. I'm not asking you to, ISO him. I'm not asking you to be Embiid. I'm just saying, hey, Boban could get 20. You can't get 20?
Yeah.
And
no, you're right.
This is the last thing. I'm sorry if I interrupted you. Fifth time. Who's a bigger double-sided sword, Ben Simmons or Gobert?
I think it's Ben Simmons.
I would say Gobert.
Really?
I have a little hope for Ben Simmons that he can develop, but it's Swaney.
Yeah, maybe because he's younger. But
no,
the Gobert thing, though.
Can Gobert learn to jump hook faster than Ben Simmons can learn a jump shot? I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe it is Ben Simmons.
Yeah. I think it is Ben Simmons because Gobert, I think because Ben Simmons is just so elite at
defense.
But
so is Gobert.
But in a different way, though.
Just rim protecting.
Yeah, it's one-sided. Ben Simmons is not one-sided. He can protect the rim, and he can guard your best player. Rudy Gobert can't guard your best player.
Unless it's like a big.
Unless it's a big. And that's rare. It's rare. There's only about 4 or 5 guys out there.
Is it a bad thing they gave the defensive player of the year to Gobert?
Yeah, it's a bad look for the NBA. I tweeted out on our Twitter, was like, that's your defensive player of the year, fellas. Like, come on.
I mean, he has a case for it, but again, it's just so easy to scheme him out. And let's be real, this game was a little fluky for the Clippers, right? Like, probably don't talk about this if they lose. But like, I know Terrence Mann's not going to have 39 points every game, right?
Yeah.
But the looks they're getting is what concerned me. It's like wide open, like no one within 8 feet of you, corner 3.
Yeah. Shout out to Ty Lue. Man. Look, I know we're not the biggest Ty Lue fans, but you got to give him his props. Down 0-2 in both series. There's never been a team to ever do that in the same playoff year. That's big, bro. Like, they got some adversity against it. This is a team that lost a 3-1 lead last year.
Well, that was good old Doc and Doc Rivers.
But same team, basically.
Yeah, no, I get you. Doc Rivers has lost Game 7 at home 4 times.
Not shocking.
5 if you count the
overrated. That's the guy I used to shout overrated to instead of Devin Booker.
Do you think? I know we're going back to 76ers, but just for a second, they should keep Doc. I think you should keep Doc, right?
No.
Fire Doc?
Blow it up. No, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about the Sixers during the week, probably.
We're going to have a lot of Sixers talk.
Yeah, you got to give shout out to the Clippers and the Jazz. And like I was going to say with the Jazz, that's when your GM comes into play. You got to get a guy who can replace Rudy and be that small ball 5.
They have it. They have Royce O'Neal. I don't know why they won't go to him.
I don't know, man.
I would, if I was him, I'd add Markieff Morris. If I could.
He'll be perfect. Or Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that was a good. You like that trade?
Yeah, I like it. But
it just makes sense. It's like, hey, you got a negative? Here's another negative. Yeah. Here's a different type of negative.
Any other thoughts on the Jazz, Max?
Really sad way to end the season. Like, they had a chance to go to the finals, in my opinion, and they just. Terrence Mann was like, nope.
Yeah,
have fun.
But we're gonna take a quick break, guys, and when we get back, we're gonna be talking about Game 1 of Booker versus Playoff P. We'll be right back, though. So the Max and Juancast got its first sponsorship, Max. You want to know what it is?
Tell me, please.
It's Anchor. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about Anchor, Max?
Well, I know it's free, and I know they have a bunch of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast, whether it's from your phone, your computer, or whatever you're using. But I know one thing. You know a lot more about editing than I do.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. I'm the one that steers this ship as far as edit-wise. But what I like about it, I like that you can distribute your podcast automatically all in one place to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, like Google Podcasts. You can also make money from making your own podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need in a podcast all in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Link in the description, guys.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to hit the Clippers at the Suns. Game 1. Suns take it. It was a close game.
It was arguably the game of the year.
No CP3. Shut up.
No, but it was a really great game, though.
Yeah. No CP3. No Kawhi Leonard. So we'll call that a wash.
Yeah, evenly matched.
Booker stole the show, I thought. And Paul George played really good.
Yeah. They had a little duel out in the third.
Oh,
They were going back and forth.
Devin Booker just.
Yeah.
We talked about it with the Bucks adjustment. They kept letting Devin Booker just get running head starts on the Zubac, and I'm like, it's not Zubac. It's kind of like saying, hey, I'm a 150-pound cornerback. I'm gonna be stopped. Derrick Henry's running at me full speed. I have to tackle him.
Yeah.
You're not going to tackle him. It's just simple as that. Reggie Jackson balled out for the Clippers. I thought Ayton played really good.
Really good.
I feel like looking at their teams, I think the Suns have a better team than the Clippers. Is that wrong to say?
I don't think so. Not with Kawhi there.
No, I'm saying this game 1. I thought like Bridges makes more plays than like or Morris. Yeah. Morris gets hurt. That hurt them.
Man, we've been waiting on the Ayton like, okay, you're not ready for this game. It hasn't happened all year.
He took advantage when they went small. Like,
yeah,
he didn't look nearly as lost as Gobert because he moves a lot better than Gobert. Like I don't understand how his plus minus was -7. Did you think he was -7? I thought he was great.
He was fantastic, bro. I want to say this.
Okay, go ahead.
Devin Booker. Is he a dying breed?
With
his style of play?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think teams are going to realize mid-range is valuable. And I think because the Warriors should be the team that shoots the most threes with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, right? The Lakers should not be the team that shoots the most threes. Remember we were trying to do that thing where we always shoot as threes?
Mm.
So I think teams are learning like, hey, we got this guy who can like get people to death in the mid-range. And Booker's a special shooter. Like if he took 10 threes a game, I'd have no issue with that, would you? But he doesn't.
No,
that's what I'm saying. He's great at the mid-range.
He's a dying breed, bro.
You know,
there's only 2 players in the NBA that do it as much as him. KD and his teammate, Chris Paul.
What about Kawhi? Yeah, come on. Give me that one.
I'll give you that one. Kawhi.
Giannis?
No. Ben Simmons?
Definitely not.
But look,
he had a triple-double. Amazing game.
That's not why. I mean, he had an amazing game.
No, that's the only reason. Like, come on. That's the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know, right? But no, he was phenomenal, bro. And I love his game. I love his game because I really do think it's a dying breed. And the players that we named, besides Chris Paul, who you can argue that's like an all-time great player right now at the way that he's playing.
Does it surprise you he only took 5.5 threes a game?
No, not at all.
I think what surprised a lot of people just because the NBA, it's three-pointer, three-pointer.
Like you don't see this though.
Like Lonzo Ball, and we made a video, takes like 8 a game compared to Devin Booker, who's I would say, I don't care what the percentage says, he's a better shooter than Lonzo Ball.
Shooter. Yeah,
even though Lonzo Ball, great 3-and-D guy, I'm sticking with it. He's not a great playmaker. I digress. Let's hit the storylines of this game, okay? Cameron Payne filling in for Chris Paul.
Didn't miss a beat.
I don't think so either. I mean, Cameron Payne wasn't the usual rodent that he was against the Lakers. By that, like, could not miss a 3, it felt like.
Yeah.
That was just me. I feel like every time he shot a 3 against the Lakers, it was in.
Right.
Ty Lue kind of had a stupid like way to play the pick and roll with Booker, I thought. I was like, you got to trap him.
Mm-hmm.
Get the ball out of his hand. Ayton has just really become a great player. Like, anytime he caught the ball in the low post against a Munchkin, he finished. He was 10 for 14. Mm-hmm. Like, remember when game 1, I'm like, DeAndre Ayton's not going to shoot 80% the whole playoffs?
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
That was the first time. I mean, besides Devin Booker on the floor, who was obviously a superstar at this point, the way that he's playing, that was the first time where you're watching a game of DeAndre Ayton and you're like, you see that guy on TV? That guy looks like the number 1 pick, right? He looked dominant. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care how many points he had or his plus fucking minus. He look like a dominant player today.
The only time I like the plus minus is when you watch the game and it seemed like it makes sense. Like Cameron, like Cameron Johnson was plus 14. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
Had some like a big spark off the bench.
Right.
Like Paul George was plus 1. They're not in this game without Paul George. Reggie Jackson was really good. DeMarcus Cousins, I was really excited to see him not be terrible.
He came in, gave us some minutes, bro.
He was really good the first half. He had 11 points. He had a really good dunk on Saric. He also elbowed Saric in the face.
I seen that.
It was not a flagrant foul, and I'm glad he didn't call it one because he's just trying to seal art. That's a throwback to people who know what that means. What do you think the Clippers can do without Kawhi? Like, say Chris Paul doesn't play the series and Kawhi doesn't play the series.
I mean,
I feel like they're going to lose.
You got to make adjustments on how you guard Devin Booker.
Paul George wasn't guarding him for stretches, which I was like,
Devin Booker was actually guarding Paul George at times. Well, I was shocked.
I know. I like Bridges a lot defensively, just with his like alien arms. I don't think Paul George should check Booker for long stretches. I think he just has too much to do offensively. Like, save it for when you really need him to. And, like, honestly, what happens if Reggie Jackson doesn't have 24 points?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Bobby Schmurder to come back down to earth. I don't think it's going to happen.
What is he averaging this playoffs? I'll check right now. But
he's been amazing for them, bro. He's been arguably their second best player at times.
I thought he was better.
With Kawhi.
I thought he was better than Paul George in the Dallas series for like stretches. I was like,
Game 7 he was.
Game 6 too. He was humongous.
Yeah.
So, like, and this is a guy we thought was like, this guy's a bum. Like, we're not gonna. But it just shows like NBA players are good. Shock, surprise, surprise, right? He averaged 15 against Dallas. He averaged 18 against the Jazz. Reggie Jackson.
Yeah. But he had like big games in those series.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Look, I think the Clippers have to really play well to win the series. Like, I think the Suns cannot play well and win.
I was kind of shocked. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
I'm getting you back.
Yeah, get me back. Come on.
I was shocked that they closed out with Rondo. And I know they're out there like with Devin, the Devin Booker factor. And I know he made a 3 at the end to make it a 2-point game at one point. But I don't like it. Have out Morris. I don't know why.
I think he's hurt. I think he's hurt. That's
really?
Why. Yeah, he only played 21 minutes. He didn't start the third quarter. He like banged up his knee.
I could have sworn I seen him out there in the third, though. I might be wrong.
I think he might have came back, but he's banged up. You know what's kind of surprising? As small as the Clippers are, they're only down, like they only lost the rebound battle by 4.
Because Morris is like, he's 6'10".
No, he's like 6'8".
Bro, he's 6'10".
His twin's 6'8". How's he 6'10"? They're
no,
twins.
I could have sworn the Morris twins is 6'10".
I'll look it up right now.
You could, and I'm probably gonna be right.
Oh,
6'9".
look, Marquise 6'8", though. They twins, they the same height. Come on, 6'9's like a cop out. You went over, you lose. Price is Right game.
That's some bull.
Fast break points though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he's long though. He's long though. Like he can guard bigs. That's the thing.
I mean, for stretches, I feel like Marquise better suited for bigs because he's a little bulkier.
Yeah.
But Marcus moves better.
Don't you just wish like they can go in spurts of the game?
I feel like they did that sometimes. I'm just gonna say it.
Stop.
No,
conspiracy theory?
Yeah, Paul Pierce shit himself. I told you about that like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Go on.
Points in the paint: 54 for the Suns, 34 for the Clippers. That's the team. God dang. Aiden had 20, so maybe you do that. There's 20 extra points. Dude, Aiden was good, man. They got to find a way to slow. I know the Clippers want to do the thing where they play small and shoot threes, and I think they should do it. But maybe Zubac and I think DeMarcus Cousins earned himself at least a little bit of run.
Yeah.
Like he was good for them, 11 points.
But I think Chris Paul is going to come back sooner than Kawhi.
Who knows, bro? Who knows with the COVID stuff? I agree, but it's just.
And I mean, with the COVID stuff, he's positive.
An indefinite amount of time.
Yeah, and with COVID, I mean, as we've seen, like guys in football, even guys in basketball, like Jason Tatum, they don't really. It takes them a while to get back.
And Chris Paul's a little older. He's an older gentleman. He's a
older lungs.
He's a distinguished gentleman, so maybe it takes a little longer.
But I don't know. I just know it's going to be a great series.
Who are you picking to win the series? I know it's a game late, but
I'm going to go Suns.
I would have went the Suns if you asked me before this series started.
Yeah.
Because I feel Chris Paul and Kawhi is a wash.
I think if Kawhi plays, though,
Kawhi plays and Chris Paul doesn't play.
No, with Chris Paul playing. I would have went the Clippers.
Really?
It's the only reason why I'm scared without Kawhi. Like, I know they've been playing amazing, and I love what they've been doing lately. But not having Kawhi, that's tough, man. Hopefully, playoff P winds up elevating his game even more and showing that guy that he can be, like in Indiana days, and finally, unlock that inner
Paul George.
Yes.
I called game.
Yes. They have a chance, bro.
That was the Gary.
I really like their team. As much as I hate the Clippers, I really like what they're doing. I love what Ty Lue brings to the table. I love the grit that they have.
Do you think Doc Rivers would have done anything?
No, not at all. This team is just different, bro. Like,
Doc would have been playing Zubac like 20 minutes a game. Like, we got to ride. This is my guy. Got to stick with him.
Down to everyone on the roster. I feel like everyone, like usually it's Patrick Beverley only with the mentality. I feel like all of them have that Patrick Beverley mentality right now.
Do you think Doc would have had the balls to bench Beverley against Dallas?
No way.
When he was getting cooked by big boy Luka.
No way.
I agree 100%. That's the difference. Ty Lue did it. It worked out. And kudos to Beverly for not being as like a crybaby about it. He knew he can't guard Luka.
Yeah.
I think the last thing. Do we have anything else? Oh, how about this? Hawks and Bucks preview. What do you think?
I got the Hawks, bro. I'm not going against Trae Young. Go ahead, drink the Bucks Kool-Aid.
Has it steered me wrong yet?
Almost. You've gotten lucky. You've gotten lucky.
I didn't get lucky. I knew my
You
stuff.
dropped the sugar all the way into the bucket
bottom,
almost. But you winded up taking it out, and it ended up being kind of good.
Is this a close? What's your like score of the series? Like 4-2, 4-1, 4-7?
I think it goes 6. I got Hawks in 6.
Who's guarding Giannis? Collins?
Yeah.
Collins a little light to guard Giannis. Capella?
They build a wall.
What about Capella?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to matter because they're going to build a wall.
Do you have any faith in Drew Holiday guarding Trae Young?
He's going to, Trae Young's going to have his games, but I'm just worried. I'm worried about
what needs to happen for the Hawks to win. Don't just say Trae Young has to play great. No shit.
Mondonovich has to get healthy. That's one.
Dude, it's kind of crazy to think the Hawks don't have him healthy. They lost DeAndre Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And as big a joke as this is going to sound, they don't have Cameron Reddish. It's like the 10th pick in the draft, which is important. Like, I know it's a joke, but it's another guy just to throw out there.
Yeah.
They got a lot of young talent on this team. Maybe the Luka trade worked out for them.
I'm going with just kind of like the cohesiveness of the Suns. I get that vibe from the Hawks. Like, they ride or die with each other.
So, who slows down who? Like, who are you going to... Like, what's the matchup you're going to look out for in that series?
I think whoever guards Giannis. How they guard Giannis.
What about how Giannis decides to play? Like, what if Giannis settles? What if Giannis is like...
Then the Bucks are not going to win.
I'd agree with that. I'm going to go with the Bucks in 5. I think
the
Cinderella story is going to come to an end. I think Giannis, he can see the prize. He can see it.
And part of it is because I have more trust of Trae Young in a close game than Middleton, Giannis, and Drew Holiday.
I feel like those three, though, are going to overwhelm the Hawks. Let's just wipe out Trae Young and Giannis. They say they're equally as good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the next best guy in the series?
Chris Middleton.
Then who's the next best guy?
Drew Holiday. Yeah, I know. I get you.
I'm just trying to break it down and make my point.
No. I get you. One thing to look out for, though, is let's remember that the Bucks are very 3-point dependent. Do you think the Hawks are? As much as the Bucks? I don't think so. I think they're more Trae Young, dependent, but the Bucks are live and die by the 3. I can easily see this series 0-2 off bat because the Bucks shot 6 for freaking 40.
I don't know about that. I don't think that. No, I don't agree with that. The Bucks do like their 3-point shot, and it pains me to see Brook Lopez not post up like Joe Harris because I have to go to the corner to stand there to shoot a 3.
Yeah.
How about this for a matchup? If you're the Bucks, how would you play the high pick and roll between Capella and Trae Young? Who guards Trae?
Drew.
who guards Capella? Brook Lopez or Giannis?
Probably put Giannis because they learned from the Nets in that Game 7.
So if you put Brook Lopez, you cannot. I would put Brook Lopez, and I wouldn't tell him to drop completely. Like how he's like, oh, just shoot the 3, please. Don't let Trae Young get hot from 3. That's the big mistake. I would just tell Giannis, let John Collins shoot. Let's see how he's shooting.
Right.
Because I don't really trust John Collins shooting 3s, do you? I know he's been shooting decent from the corners, and I'll look up his percentages right now. I should have had that written down. I apologize. But I'd rather die by John Collins. Like, he shot 39% on 3 a game. I'm not really afraid of that number. And then if I look up the playoffs, shooting 40% on 3 a game. That's pretty good, but I'd still live with that, wouldn't you?
Man, you're living with Terrence Mann too.
Yeah, okay, one game of that.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I really don't feel like there's anyone on the Hawks that can stop Giannis, guard Giannis, especially if he catches the ball short corner on a post and just like.
We'll see.
Can't they kind of just scheme out Capella with Brook Lopez just standing in the corner?
Maybe. Maybe Capella guards Giannis, like you said.
I bet they'll use some Solomon Hill in there with Giannis.
Yeah.
They got to find a way to slow him down.
Yeah.
Best thing to do is build the wall. Don't let him get in transition. You got to make the Hawks. The Hawks have to make the Bucks play in the half court without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this great podcast that we just did. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Talking about all the Game 7s. Basketball.
Thanks, NBA, for the content to talk about. Appreciate it.
Thank you, basketball.
Thank you, fans. You make it so much better. Except for the Philly fans that throw drinks on the court. Shout out to them.
And thank you to our fans. Thank you for joining us. If you guys listened this far, might as well hit the subscribe button, bro. Follow us. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. And if you guys don't know, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on YouTube and Twitter,
Pacific time,
we go live. And you know what? We just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram. Yes, sir. I gave you the fist bump because it's still kind of COVID. Let me redo that. I'm COVID up, bro. I know.
I'm trolling you now.
I know. At this point. But you know what? We're not trolling you guys because we are giving a giveaway.
I would give away a pair of shoes, and unless a bunch of people say I wear size 15 or 14, it's not gonna happen. It's no offense. I'm a minority in the foot game, I guess. Shoe game.
So look, we're gonna give out the details on Instagram. So make sure to follow us because that's where you guys are gonna get all the info. That and Twitter. All right. We're gonna be probably doing a screenshot to make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel. But we'll see. We're gonna be giving away some gift cards. I stuffed this in the back because I wanted to show this.
Oh my god! I was like, what is
it? Brand new Steph Curry jersey. All right. Shout out to Oakland, the town.
Well, I guess it's kind of outdated now that they left the town, but I like that more than I like a lot of this stuff.
What size is this? This is a 2X.
Oh, that's good.
2X. So, not for the smallest dude, but
I ain't mad at you.
Nonetheless, that's going to be the second place winner, though. So second place winner is going to get that. We'll see if we can get a third place prize. First place, we're going to be giving away a gift card, whether it's Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. Who knows?
And
okay.
I swear to God, if we get people saying do the shoe thing, I wear 14, I'll do it. I don't care.
We'll do the shoe thing. Max is a shoe fanatic. He has plenty of shoes to give away.
No, not plenty.
Yeah, plenty.
But a couple.
But we appreciate you guys, man. We love you guys. We're extremely grateful. Thank you for all the support we've been getting. YouTube's blowing up, bro. Our Instagram's getting bigger and bigger every day. Twitter, all of it, dude. We're going to keep on grinding. We're going to be just with our head down, bro, being humble and just keep on working. Straight up.
Thank you guys for all the support. I'm very grateful for it, especially I'm very grateful for my co-host, and I'm very grateful for my dad on Father's Day. I'm going to end with that.
Yes, sir. Happy Father's Day, guys. Even though it's Monday, but still, got to give out
Sunday
love.
when I said it. It counts.
All right, guys. Well, go ahead and hit this playlist. Go ahead and watch this video. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.